Have you ever had a song idea stuck in your head? You know, a melody, maybe a few lines of lyrics, but the thought of actually producing it just felt impossible, like trying to climb a mountain? Well, guess what? That mountain is getting smaller every single day. Let's dive into this, because the old barriers to making music are just falling away, all thanks to a totally new kind of collaborator, artificial intelligence. And look, that's not some kind of exaggeration. This quote nails it. This new way of working is completely rewriting the rules for how long it takes to make a song. What used to take weeks, maybe even months of studio time, booking producers, getting engineers, all of that can now be crunched down into a single creative afternoon. It's a true revolution in just how fast and accessible this all is. So what's the magic behind the curtain here? Well, it's AI music generation. At its heart, these are super sophisticated systems that have been trained on just massive amounts of music. But they're not just copying and pasting what they've heard, no way. They're actually learning the fundamental patterns, the DNA of melody, harmony, and rhythm, so they can create something totally new, just from a simple text command you give them. The best way to think about these AI platforms is like a whole new set of instruments in your studio. Seriously, each one has its own sound, its own strengths, its own personality, and they're all just waiting to bring your ideas to life. So let's meet the main players in this new AI orchestra. And you can see right away, these tools are getting incredibly specialized. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. If you need a really high-quality, natural-sounding vocal track, you're probably going to look at Suno. But if you're scoring a film and need a huge, epic soundtrack, Iva is your go-to. Then you've got SoundDraw, which is perfect for YouTubers or podcasters who need lots of control over their background music. And Udio is a beast for electronic and more experimental artists. The big takeaway here is that you get to choose the right instrument for the job you're trying to do. Okay, so we've met the orchestra, but how do you actually conduct it? How do you get from that idea in your head to a fully finished song? Let's walk through the actual creative workflow and see how this all clicks together. It all starts with the prompt. And you have to understand, this isn't just a suggestion you're giving the AI. It is the blueprint for your entire song. The quality of what you get out is directly tied to the quality of what you put in. You have to be the director here. Tell it the structure, label your verse and chorus, set the mood with really descriptive words, specify the exact instruments you hear in your head, and even describe how you want the vocals to be performed. The more detail you give it, the closer the AI is going to get to your vision. So this whole process really boils down into 4 pretty clear steps. First, you get that prompt perfect. That's your blueprint. Step 2, you use a tool like Suno to generate the first draft of the track. Think of it as your starting point. Third, you take that track into your own music software, your DAW, to really fine-tune and maybe even replace the vocals. And finally, you separate the song into all its individual instrument layers so you can do a proper final mix. Okay, this is all incredibly powerful, right? But it brings up a massive question. If the AI is generating all the music, what's the artist even doing? Are we just becoming operators who push a few buttons? Well, the answer, maybe surprisingly, is a big no. In fact, the artist's role is shifting into something way more interesting. We're moving past the idea of AI as just a tool. We're entering a new era of a genuine creative partnership. This isn't about replacing anyone. It's about a new kind of symbiosis, a new way of working together where the final result is something greater than what either the human or the AI could have made alone. This image here illustrates that new relationship perfectly. It's all about balance. On one side of the scale, you have human intuition. That's the artistic vision, the emotional core, the why behind the song. On the other side, you have the AI's machine computation, which is amazing at offering suggestions based on data and building complex musical structures. The human is still the director, the curator, the one with the ultimate artistic authority. And this comparison really drives home that shift in thinking. The old way was seeing AI as a passive tool, like a hammer. You tell it what to do, it doesn't. The new way is seeing AI as an active collaborator. It suggests ideas. It engages in a back-and-forth creative dialogue with you. And that completely changes how we think about authorship. It's not just one person anymore. It's a shared, hybrid creation. Now, of course, this new tech creates a really fascinating tension. On one hand, there's a real risk of things getting, well, boring. If everyone's using the same models, could we end up with music that all sounds the same? It's possible. But on the other hand, these tools are enabling mind-blowing innovation, giving artists the power to create sounds no one's ever heard before. The trick is going to be balancing that drive for innovation with preserving that essential spark of human creativity. So you've worked with your new AI partner, and you've created this awesome track. But it's not quite ready for Spotify yet. These final steps are where the human artist really takes the wheel to turn a great demo into a professional, release-ready song. And the technology that really unlocks this final stage is a total game changer. It's called AI stem splitting. This is your key to getting ultimate creative control. This software takes that single audio file the AI gave you and intelligently breaks it apart into all its individual layers. The vocals, the drums, the bass, everything. It means you're no longer stuck. You have the freedom to mix, edit, and perfect every single piece of your song. And the very last step in the process is mastering. This is absolutely crucial. AI mastering basically analyzes your final mix and gives it that professional polish. It makes sure your song is loud enough, clear enough, and balanced enough to sound great on platforms like Spotify or Apple Music. It's the final quality check that lets your track sit right next to any other pro song out there. You know, this really brings us full circle. As this quote puts it so well, AI isn't here to disrupt or replace artists. It's an amplification force. It's a technology that makes human creativity more powerful, that helps generate new ideas, and that makes the whole process of creating music more open and accessible than it has ever been before. So, as we watch this incredible merger of human intuition and machine intelligence unfold, it leaves us with some really deep questions to chew on. What does the future of art even look like in this new era of collaboration? And when a song is born from this kind of partnership, who exactly gets to be called the author?